Hey everybody, it's Dr. Julie Quinn here, and I'm here to give you a tour of week 5 in writing 393. So you're going to be looking at professional documents this week, sometimes technical, not sometimes, but all the time technical writing, because there's a significant overlap with professional writing. And so we're going to take a look at some professional writing opportunities through the lens of a technical writer. So this week, we'll show you some of the changes in APA style. We'll talk about the basic memo. This is a video. You've got a link here for changes to the 7th edition of APA. The changes are minimal, and this sends you right to the University of Maryland's global campus, library content. And not only are there links for like document formatting and citations, but there are videos that are embedded in there as well. This changes for APA 7th. A video tutorial, how to cite one source through a paragraph. It's just a refresher. You probably already know how to do it. It's a couple minutes long. The resources to review are really light this week. We've done a lot of, groundwork building. The discussion topics you've got. Writing a memo to your instructor, me, about your white paper topic. This is like a formal request to do the topic. And then I will be responding to everybody individually and giving all the students feedback to make sure topics seem to be written for an external audience. And so now we're practicing writing memos, brief texts. Again, looking at this sort of through the eye of a technical writing professor and students to get a chance to practice that. And then the library tutorials. When you take a look at the library tutorials, this is another refresher. The assignments to come, the report, which is writing assignment 4, and the white paper they're hybrid assignments, and they've got technical writing aspects to them, but yet they require you to do academic research. So you're going to want to make sure, even when I was a technical writer, I had to document in an academic style just based on the type of technical writing I was doing. When I was working at an engineering firm, I had a particular way of documenting when we had military projects that my firm worked for. When I was an editor for academic journal articles, we had to abide by a style because those articles themselves were written in an academic style. So it really does depend on who your audience is. And so there's nothing strange about writing academically, also technically. Often if you look at academic journal articles, you'll see the wide range of charts and graphs and content that's presented to a technical audience in an academic way. So these exercises, the library tutorials, this is just another round of practice. You did something similar last week. We're doing this again this week, just to remind you how to use the library databases, especially for those of you in your majors. If it's been a while, it depends. We have a lot of different majors. So this is just practice. Don't panic. Now, the writing assignment to come is report to your supervisor. Let's take a look at that now. Hang on. There we go. It took me a minute to get it to open. Okay. And this assignment, you're writing what we would consider a short report to the owner of a company to which you have just been hired. Length, approximately 1,200 to 1,500 words. The format can be single spaced because this report is not an essay technically. You can format it outside of APA style with of course we want a paper like this, you can tell still has the 1-inch margins, even though it's not written exactly like an APA paper itself with the indented paragraphs. This looks more like a web document. So that's fine. Graphics, integrate a graphic, of your choice, a table, a chart. But charts, you need to be real careful. I'll probably post another announcement later this week. As you're building your own, if you decide to create a graphic, you'll be required to create one for writing assignment number 5. But these don't have to be highly sophisticated graphics. Basic graphics can be a chart or a table. But you want to make sure if you're doing a chart that the chart is purposeful to what you're talking about. For example, a pie chart would be showing parts of a whole. But pie charts don't always help convey information unless you're talking about parts of something, right? Let's see. You'll integrate at least 3 sources into this submission. Now, the situation. You've been hired for the position of manager for customer service at this company. They have a robust business and landscaping, so that you're given a scenario as if you are a technical writer for that company. I know a lot of you don't have this specific experience, but the scenario should give you enough background to make this work. And as a matter of fact, you've also been introduced to this through the prior exercises from last week. So this assignment itself shouldn't be unfamiliar to you at this point. That this company has 75 individuals. It's a small outfit. The owner does not have a college degree, but has some college in his background. You can see how he's developed the company very quickly with a lot of employees, but there doesn't seem to be a streamlining of processes here. So some problems have developed. So you will take a look at the myriad problems, the different problems that are listed here, and you will come up with a report identifying your concerns, right? That the current arrangement with everybody sort of being siloed, and you can even take a look at my post to help you contextualize this further in that discussion. I responded as if I was a student last week. And the issues with cybersecurity, the issues with website updating and maintenance, the issues with customer data. There's all sorts of different issues that you get to focus on in the report. So students who are in finance, students who are in IT, students who are in other business programs can actually, across the board, really do well on this type of professional/technical document. It doesn't matter what your major is when you're in this advanced technical writing class. Everybody at this point can write this pretty well. Your task: you're going to write a short report to the owner and outline the problem with the current personnel policies that are listed in the document. You can explore separation of duties. Like, you can focus on a primary issue in your report. You don't have to highlight everything. That allows you to work to your strengths and to play around with some of the concepts that you understand more strongly, or you feel like through some of your initial database research you feel comfortable with. Okay, you're welcome to use more than 3 sources. I'd like the sources to be academic sources from the library databases, like our practice kind of gave you that head start. And incorporate a graphic. The graphic should demonstrate the current personnel management and the problems. Maybe you build a flow chart, for example. Maybe you want to show like a new or top-down arrangement of who reports to whom. That'd be pretty interesting. It doesn't seem like it would be particularly difficult to build. And as a matter of fact, I can conference with any student to show you some of the tools that are just built into Microsoft Word that can help you do that. And I'm sure there's other software on the web that will help you as well. But this isn't meant to be time, like a time eater to build the chart. The chart itself should take you, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes. Okay. Rule number 1, paper is permanent. I love that phrase. Make sure your word forms are accurate and the grammar mechanics are correct. So when you're in Microsoft Word or whatever software platform that you're using, make sure you turn on your grammar and your spell check. Others in the company might see your memo and you want it to look as professional as possible. That was a big deal when I was a technical writer. That was the reason I had the job, was to help our teams make sure the content that they submitted to, for the jobs in engineering firm and the publications we were publishing in academia had no obvious errors. Okay. Keep in mind Richard Smith's education level, and he's not an IT person, so you're going to have to define terms as you go. Create a glossary, whatever you need to do. You can be creative with this. This could, should be fun. Remember, he's your boss. You're writing to a superior. Understand he's your primary audience, but that there are other audiences that may get access to the document, and consider them. Don't offend them. You don't want to attack the IT department. You want to be able to provide recommendations. Use your judgment about how you set up your text, and you can use, rule 4, let me not skip around here. Instead of writing long, thick, dense paragraphs, write readable, searchable text. Headers help. Bullets, you can tell we've got bullets in this sort of setup here on this assignment overview. The bullets are not sequential. We're not saying start with these, or it says the rules are numbered, but yet they're set in bullet form. I probably maybe would change that, but the bullets indicate that you can think about all of these issues in a non-sequential order. You can write first and then cut the fluff. And then you can contemplate the audience. And then you can make sure your signposts are embedded in there. But bullets do help organize ideas in a quick snapshot. So it's effective. And I think you should use it. Here's your strategy for organization. I would actually take this and I would cut it and I would paste it into a Word document. The reason to do that would be so you can take out the bullets, and I don't think bullets at that point are necessary when you use these as headers for your report. The memo first, and then an executive summary. Hopefully you've practiced executive summaries before. I will embed my favorite UMGC tutorial link. It's a one-page that shows what an executive summary looks like and how effective they are. We'll be using executive summaries for this report and for writing assignment number 5. It's like a little snapshot of the report to follow. You'll create a table of contents. Those can be automatically generated in Word. You can find tutorials on YouTube for those. But the majority of your report is the problem and the suggested solution. You have a conclusion. You don't want your conclusion to drag on. It should be, recommended sequence of steps, and then your references, right? So we'll be getting a chance to practice these this week, to take a look at this. And if you want to reach out and work with me, you absolutely can. Note, your instructor, me, is notifying you of the due date. You will write a first draft. It says your instructor will comment on the draft, and then you will submit a second draft. However, with the way that the course is set up, the only way I can comment on that first draft is if you set up time to conference with me, because you've got another big report that has a draft and a final built into the weekly setup, and we don't have that for the report. So if you want that feedback, all you have to do is email me, and we will set up time to work together on the report itself. If you have any questions, all you got to do is reach out and let me know.